Hello everyone and welcome back to PGP Motorsports Park for the final last chance qualifying of the season. We're into our final race, so what happened in the heat races that gave us this roster?
So, quite a few things happened. Unfortunately, in his heat race, Todd got crashed out and was hopelessly stuck. As we see in turn 4, somebody crashes out as well, and they are stuck before the race even starts. Turn 4. Also, Davidson Man.
Is that Davidson right there?
It doesn't look like it, I don't think. But Davidson also, I don't know if he spun out or crashed, but his cart stalled out and died in turn 4, so that put him in the back. So we have some front runners that are starting from the back in this LCQ. And as far as I'm aware, I'm not sure if they're going to hold up the grid so that this person can catch up. But yeah, they're gridding up, and they're getting ready for their rolling start. From this distance, I didn't really get who's in the front pack, but we'll be getting that information to you shortly. I see somebody splashes the puddle.
Yeah, huge
Don't want
water
to do
splash
that.
through there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in the heat races, I've been seeing a lot of people getting caught out in the roller coaster.
Well, here they are. Take it away. I'll get those names shortly.
All right, well, as they roll down the grid, we'll see the green flag getting raised up. The flag's waved in their way as they roar on by. We're going to see them split up, see who's going to get the early leads here. But the track is a little wet today, so going for those inside lines are very risky, and we'll see if people are able to pull it off. And 3 wide they go through turn 1, and they're all still in a straight line for the most part, but we'll see how that goes on in turn 2. And in turn 2, they're still keeping it together. Someone in 3rd place is going very slow, and speaking of very slow, we got 5 wide action going on there, as someone gets pushed into the water splash through there. And going into turn 3, I see a little bit of a sprinkle of water as the wind is kicking up.
Is that Randy in first? Did he not make it through to final? I'm surprised. Normally Randy is always in the final, but I have reason to believe that's no, I don't think that's Randy. That looks to be Samuel.
Yeah, I see a yellow flag as someone is spun out once again in turn 4.
Daniel Charlton takes the lead of the race.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, so a lot happened in such a short time. I'm not sure what we got in video. Its visibility is kind of tricky given how the sun is hitting the track on one half of the track, so we're going to get a lot of glare there. But it looks like Daniel Charlton's leading. I'm going to go ahead and refresh the tracker. I learned how to refresh the page. Give it a moment.
Oh, someone spins out on a light bulb. They cook it a little bit too wide through there, and it just sends our cart wide as they go over the curb. They get caught on it.
I think that is Todd, I think.
Oh, no, really?
Unfortunate. Yeah.
If that was Todd, he made his way quite a ways in that first section to throw it away there at the end there. But
Charlton jumps the curb, and they go down the front straight.
yeah, coming up across the front straight, we see Daniel Charlton leading the race.
Daniel, hopefully the driver tracker update soon. Yep, followed by Randy. That is Randy. Wow. All right, so Randy somehow made his way into LCQ. Unfortunate, but he's keeping up with the front. It looks like his final position could be secured, along with Colin and Alexander Seguin. Wow. Normally, Alex is always in the final, too. So a wild wet race in the heat races. We see several front runners that are found themselves in LCQ. They're going to have their work cut out for them. Good news for Davidson. It made his way up to 6th. So things are looking bright for him.
Yeah, with all these people that are normally in the final, there's not really a lot of room because like some of these regular finalists are going to get kicked out because only the top 4 progress in this LCQ. And this is their last race. I hear a lot of curb action from Daniel Charlton.
But looking at the track now, our top 4 as of right now, we got Daniel Charlton in 1st, Randy Cole in 2nd, Alex Seguin in 3rd, and Colin Flynn in 4th. I spoke to Colin before the race, so unlike everyone else, he's not wearing the typical black or gray wetsuit, so he stands out. So that's a good part of standing out. Thanks for not wearing the same exact colors as everyone else, Colin.
Yep, tracking him now. Very easy. But as they make their way through light bulb, we're going to see that same mistake happen again as people really push it to the edge of that track there. We'll see how they take this corner. On a wet track like this, you don't want the inside line because it's all like rubberized in there. And it effectively cuts the track in half, and so people go for the outside line. There's no rubber there. That's the maximum amount of grip that you're going to get, and also the maximum amount of speed.
Yeah, a rubbered-in track just makes it as slick as ice in these wet conditions. So that outside line, you're on the razor's edge, having to go around the outside, as we see Alex take the inside, trying to get that overtake, and it doesn't quite work out.
Yeah, there's the example of that rubber there. He had so little speed that he ended up losing position by taking that inside line.
Yeah, and that just gives Charlton the lead. So Charlton just has to keep it consistent, and he'll be on his way to the final.
Yeah, it looks like another overtake attempt, maybe.
Possibly. There's a lot of two-way battles on track. We see side by side into 3. We got black race suit versus gray race suit, and they keep it clean.
Nice to see. But then we got turn 4 chaos coming up.
Yeah, turn 4 is extremely tricky. Even in the dry, it's a tricky corner. But in the wet, all bets are off. The grip is just basically everywhere and nowhere all at once. There are so many different viable lines you could take through 4 in the wet. It's extremely tricky to do. But these races make it look easy.
Yeah, they do. And already we're starting to see the LCQ get pretty spread out. Who do we have in last right now?
In last? Don't put the last person on blast. That's mean.
I was just
Why
wondering
would you
if
do
it was
that?
like Todd or something. I was like Todd or...
It doesn't look like Todd. Okay, just for you, that is Trevor. Congratulations, Trevor. You get your shout out.
Yep.
I blame Steven. That's all his fault. It wasn't me. Wasn't me.
Hey, someone always needs to bring up the rear, and we salute you for...
It's usually me when I was racing here, so I feel your pain, Trevor. But in first, on the opposite end of the spectrum, Daniel Charlton is not running away with it. That gap has closed. The gap is still large, but it used to be larger. So it looks like Randy and Alex might be chasing for first. Just kidding. Alex dives down the inside, trying to make that move on Randy, loses the grip, and just compromises himself. Randy's got the deep inside, but there's no grip on the inside either. Will he get pushed out? No. As Alex takes the inside, really brilliant low grip racing from these two, but Randy still has the front and maintains his second place. Alex really wants to pass here.
Yeah, but what Randy knows and what Alex appears to not is you just get so much speed on the outside, and I understand that Alex is limit testing and being like, hey, the sun's out, the track should dry eventually, right? But how many times can you take that risk before eventually your skill catches up to you? And
don't imply that Alex doesn't know what he's doing. Alex came ahead of me at the championship many times. I know he knows what he's doing. He's probably just scoping Randy out, scoping the track out, getting to know everything, and he's just going to unleash all of his power in the final.
Yep, risk is definitely what's going to give you a lot of the wins here, because especially on a drying track like this, because you don't know when the track is going to be dry until you take that. And if you're confident in your skill enough to be able to do that, and it looks like Alex has survived his attempts on the inside line, then he's got what it takes to eventually, oh, it's dry now, I guess I'm blazing past. So he'll be the first to discover when that happens, and he'll get the biggest advantage from that.
Yeah, knowing how hard you can push that inside line is crucial to making overtakes in these wet conditions. So kudos to Alex for being bold enough to try to make those moves against Randy. Randy also having significant car control to keep him behind. But it looks like the gap is spread between second and third. We see Colin Flynn in fourth. Relatively comfortable fourth, but Samuel in fifth is catching up, as well as Davidson in sixth. So we may see a three-way battle for fourth very soon.
Yeah, I'm seeing those carts getting closer together as they go around turn 2. The gap just ever getting closer.
We see Todd and Angelo having a battle in turn 2 as one of them spins.
Oh no, who is it?
They're both wearing the same suit with GoPros, so that could be either one. But I think that's Angelo, just because Angelo is a bigger person than Todd.
Yeah, and then I believe this is Todd now that I'm tracking.
Yep. So really unfortunate. There's very little grip in turn 2, so it's easy to make that mistake. We have a three-way battle for second. Samuel dives down the inside. This is at turn 6.
Yep, I'm seeing it now. And he gets that dive on the inside, but he's a little bit compromised on the momentum. He goes out to the outside. We see an undercut as he blazes past on that inside line going into bus stop. And brilliant racing from these two as they just bob and weave and dance with each other through that corner. But the dance isn't over, but he tries to dive over to the inside. He gets spun, but then he's corrected by his which is a very nice gesture there as he gets pointed in the right direction and gets that speed back, but he loses another position with that loss of grip.
So really bold moves by Samuel, just taking those daring overtakes, almost made it stick, but Colin was able to retain his 4th place. Samuel tried to get him back in top of the world, but he just missed out on the grip, got spun, but thankfully, I think that was Ethan or Davidson, one of those two, spun him back around facing the right way, and now they're back. We have a 3-way battle for 5th, spearheaded by Davidson. Davidson got ahead. So Davidson's now in 5th.
Oh, that's nice. Davidson's really looking to get into that last chance qualifying to claim as many points as he can for the final race of the season. I'm not sure if he's got enough to get on the podium, but as high as he can, that's what he wants. Maybe beat that personal record of his last finishing position.
Davidson's best lap is a 2.5 seconds faster than Colin's best lap. So if Davidson just goes into qualifying mode, he could actually catch up to Colin and make things work. Unfortunately, getting qualifying pace out here, you got to put it all on the line, which if I was Davidson, it'd be worth putting all on the line. You really want to be in those final positions. Or rather, the top 4 positions to get into the final.
Yeah, I see an ambitious-looking move as someone dives a little bit into the inside behind Davidson there, and he is catching up in speed.
That is Ethan making the moves on Davidson, which he has every right to do. I mean, if you're in 6th, 4th is pretty far ahead. While the tactical thing to do would be to push Davidson along and catch up to 4th, especially since the pace difference is evident. It's really hard to judge that when you're out on track, especially when you have someone in front of you that you really want to pass. It takes a lot of restraint to not try to pass the person in front of you, because that's literally the point of racing.
Yeah. Yeah, there's that, especially if you feel that you're just that much faster.
Battle for second. Battle for second. Randy coming down the front. Alex, will he try to make the move again? He thinks better of it, gets that better momentum. He might try to make some moves into 3 or 4. If that first it doesn't succeed, try somewhere else. Because these two have raced together in the wet a lot. They've been racing here longer than I have.
You think there's a chance for more rain? Because I feel like I'm getting little drops of it here and there, but that could just be the wind.
It looks like Alex was cast in the rain over in turn 3. Not sure if you caught that on camera. He dipped a tire too far on the outside, and that, unfortunately, is it for Alex. But he retains 3rd place.
Yeah, which means that he'll get to move on to the final. 4th place is looking in a very risky spot with Davidson rocketing behind him. It looks like they're at racing distance at this point.
They most certainly are.
Yeah, Davidson will now be looking to see where his weak spots are for that overtake as he closes that gap.
Yeah, you can see just how hard Davidson's pushing right on the knife's edge of the curb, getting the best possible exit he can out of turns 4 and 5. It's really risky to push it that hard as we see someone spin in 4. Unfortunate for them.
Yeah.
But looking at the battle for 4th.
Looks like there's a 2-way battle here as we see someone dive on the inside. See if it will make that work.
I
looks
think
like
that's Angelo. I think that's Angelo.
Yeah, they spun out. But, of course, he left himself compromised for that undercut that we saw before.
I think that might have been...
Lots of curb action. They're still too wide as they go through top of the world. This is brilliant racing that we're getting back here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, someone spun off the edge of top of the world there.
Unfortunate for them. But Davidson's caught up. We have a battle for 4th going down the front straight.
Yep, watching it now.
So we got Davidson on Colin. Colin in 4th, trying to maintain that 4th, because if he just has to hold position, he can make it to the final. I'm pretty sure Davidson knows this and is going to send everything he has to try to pass Colin, who's right ahead of him. Oh, no, and they touch!
Contact.
Yeah, I don't think Colin was aware of just how close Davidson was. Davidson was just on the outside, and now that he's aware, he's going to go defensive. Down the outside, it's really hard to defend, though, as they both keep it together in turn 3. Really glad that they both kept it facing forward. That could have been really bad. And now Colin just kicked it in the high gear. He's ready to defend. He now knows Davidson's right behind him.
But he hits the brakes too hard.
And spun out. Just a mistake under pressure, and Davidson takes that. Really unfortunate. He knew he had to push, but he pushed it just a tad bit too hard. Unfortunate for Colin, as Davidson takes 4th place, and as of now, we'll move on to the final.
Yep, well, and then also Ethan now moves up to 5th place, and seeing that, he can recognize that if he can just somehow get past Davidson Man, then he could also get his chance at the final. But we're seeing Davidson open up that gap a little bit. But to be fair, Ethan caught up while Davidson chased down Colin.
Worth noting, Ethan's best lap is 7/10 behind Davidson's best lap. However, his race pace seems to be faster than Davidson's. So it is entirely possible Ethan could catch up to Davidson and snatch 4th place away from him.
Yeah, we watched him come out of roller coaster here down the straight. It looks like that gap is still quite a bit there, not quite at the race distance with someone
However,
catching.
Colin's still in a battle now. Really hard to tell who that is. I think that is Angelo.
Yeah, we see him go down the straight there.
Oh, wait, no, that's Samuel. My bad. No, wait, no, that's not Samuel. Samuel's not wearing a race suit. I'm blind. But Ethan gets past.
Yeah, Colin has the outside line there, so he's definitely got this in the bag. So much more momentum around the outside. And he gets the overtake done and dusted. But he still has quite a few to chase down in 6th place.
I think that might be Kevin that's battling Angelo right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was talking to Kevin in the paddock earlier. He's really recognizable up close, but from this distance, it's very difficult.
Got some more 2-wide action on this windy day.
Woo! I think he just got that momentum. Really good exit and says, thank you, I'll be taking that position. And unfortunate for Ethan, who drops down another position.
Is that really the gap after that fast?
Yeah. According to the timing sheets, it's Samuel. But I recall Samuel's not wearing a race suit today. So the timing sheets may not be reflective. I'm going to refresh it again.
Yeah, we'll see that in a moment as we look at them cross around light bulb. It looked like there was some sketchy 2-wide action there. I saw some definite wobble there.
It is Kevin. I trusted my eyes more than the website. I had to refresh it. So I'll have to just remember to refresh the webpage periodically.
Yeah.
It's all right. We do it live. Even though this is a recording. We do it live.
We do it live.
White flag is out, by the way.
Yep, so as we see our top 4 contestants.
So the top 4 as of right now is Daniel, Randy, Alex, and Davidson, as we left it. Those two. Nice to see Daniel in the final. Normally he's coming in just shy of LCQ, so my old Pro-Am Championship rival, spearheading the race. You'll love to see it. Congratulations to him. Very well earned.
Yeah, he's led this race the whole time, just kept that gap consistent. He seems to be good at those drawing race conditions.
I mean, same. These conditions are what I excel at, which unfortunately are really rare race conditions.
Yeah, because it requires a pretty rainy night.
Rainy night, dry day.
Yeah, sunny day as we go through it, but it's very cold out here. As we see some people kicking their rear end out, going through turn 4, just having fun with the drifting.
Yeah, drifting through turn 4, it's like as you can see, it's like an S-bend back and forth drift after a heavy braking zone. So drifting it in these conditions, it feels really good, even if you're not going as fast as the other person. There's a technique to drifting, getting the most momentum out of the corner exit. Because due to the slick tires on these, you have to drift. If you grip it through, it's not quite as fast as getting the perfect power slide, as we see Daniel Charlton crossing the line to take first place in the LCQ, followed by Randy, Alex, and the gap to fourth is very large, but Davidson coming home to take fourth place. He is very relieved, visibly relieved, to make it through to the final. We'll catch you in the final.
Yeah, had to have been a very tough race for him. What, he started near very close to the back there?
Yeah, he started in the back due to his cart just stalling on him in the heat race. So, hero drive from Davidson. Very good stuff.
Very well driven from him. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the final race, the full season. We're now into race 8. These will solidify the points. Of course, Paulo's already solidified his position, clinched the championship last race. Honestly, didn't need to race today, but he wants that 7th win.
So as for the championship standings, while Paulo did clinch the championship, it is currently a four-way battle for second, spearheaded by Spencer, followed by Silas, Seb, and Sergey, and William. So all four of them will have will just have to race their heart out today and score as many points as they can, as we see Alex go off. Really rare mistake from Alex to go off on the formation lap.
Where'd he go? Is that top of the world?
No, turn 6. But he's probably just heating up his tires. Anyway, our top 4 starting this race: Paulo, our championship leader, or championship winner rather. Scott Miller, who is exceptional in the rain. He has a really strong shot at winning today's race. And on the second row, we have William Yee, who I just mentioned is in the hunt for second place in the championship, starting really strong, followed next to Kirk Strong. So those are our top 2 rows. Unfortunately, that's all the names I got for you for now. Worth noting, in his heat race on the final lap, Sergey spun out from second place or leading the race, and that dropped him down to 5th. So we'll be starting from the middle of the pack. Take it away.
All right, so as they line up, grid up 2 by 2 for the rolling start, we're going to take a look at the green flag, and the flag's waved in their way. They're going to rush down. They're going to no longer hold off on that gas pedal there, and they're going to speed up and try to make it 3 or 4 wide through here. We still have wet conditions. The track is still slick, so the inside line is very treacherous, and we're going to see if these 24 karts can make it cleanly through all these corners, as we're seeing 3, 4 wide action. A lot of gripping up there. And someone's pushed off the side.
3 wide bump. Alex's race is over.
Yeah, Alex.
He got pinballed. Alex was just on the outside of getting pinballed because I saw, not Trevor. I forgot his name. Oh, no. But he got pinballed. Oh no. Speaking of pinball, what the?
Across a straight there, huge water splash.
Gentlemen, it is a straightaway.
Yeah,
okay.
They had a disagreement on the exit there, but we still have turn 4 to go through here, and despite going 4 wide, we are seeing people still facing in a straight line a little bit.
Kirk overcooked it! Kirk overcooked it. That was just a mistake by Kirk. He was on his own there, and he lost out in turn 5. So really treacherous conditions.
Someone does a sympathy spin.
That would be Daniel Charlton.
And another spin up further along there. These people are all clumped up, and they're trying to make it as dry of a track as possible, but they forget that the rubber is already embedded. You cannot take away that rubber easily unless it's completely dry, and they're finding that it is very slippery to race on that stuff.
All of that is just a testament to how tricky it is to drive in these conditions. It's really cold and really slick, but it hasn't rained. So it's not quite a full wet track. It's just a wet, damp track. The grip is inconsistent with each lap. But in first place, we have Paulo. In second place, that looks like William. William took second place through all that. Scott Miller now in third. Wow. So William chasing that championship second place spot. We'll see if he could just keep it. Ideally, he'd want to pass Paulo for the most points possible, but William's in a really good spot for his championship. It looks like Sergey made his way up significantly. I recognize that helmet and race suit. Sergey's in 4th from starting in the middle.
And someone drives off the track in turn 2, but he makes his way back on somehow. The grass, not just as grippy as the track, it looks like, with how he drove that.
Despite looking at turn 2, I did not see that. I was focused so much on the front runners here. But yeah.
2 wide action coming out onto the back straight. And then they sort themselves out. They get in line.
Yeah, there's just so much action happening, especially in turn 4.
Yeah, turn 4, lots of people snaking around, trying to get the most that they can, try to take advantage of the super wide part of the track. This is where there's the most variation in the racing line, so that's where we're going to see a lot of attempts for overtakes and then people overcooking it and spinning it out, especially along here. People get really confident through here. We've already seen several incidents through this sequence going into bus stop.
Yeah, judging just how much confidence you can get away with is crucial to getting overtakes done around, especially this part of the track, as we see everybody's mostly single-filed out. Alex going around top of the world. Not Alex again, different Alex. Alex Acosta, I think. Good move by Alex. Back there.
It looks like I saw almost an overtake attempt there, but then they are... No, it's still too wide. People, the person on the outside might have the biggest advantage there.
Looks like Kirk got shoved all the way back there with that gray jacket of his. That's how I could tell it's Kirk. So really unfortunate. Kirk started out in 4th, but then just went backwards. Unfortunate. as we see them driving down the front. Spencer taking the inside line in turn 1 around Thomas. Thomas in the high-vis suit. But Spencer gets the better momentum through turn 2 and that's 5th place for Spencer.
Good job on Spencer there.
I
got
forgot
the
to
fundamental. I
center
see some
this.
4 wide action. Now it's 3 wide.
Woo!
Someone's just off the edge of the
that
track.
looks like
It was so
Carmine.
close. But he gets the undercut. But he doesn't quite have it looks like it tops out, but he does have the outside line, which is quite a bit faster. And if someone's hung out on the inside line, he's going to lose it all, and he does.
Worthy of note, Steven, just get a little closer to the microphone next time. You were starting to cut out there just from volume issues. And we see 3 wide through the turns 4 and 5, spearheaded by Luke. So Luke comes out ahead of that big squabble.
But
Luke,
is this fight over? He dives onto the inside.
Okay, now you're too loud.
And he bumps into the pumps into the side of him, and then he's spun out.
That's Alex that got spun out there. Unfortunate.
Yeah, stuck in the middle of the road. Everyone doing well to go around him despite the slippery conditions. It's a good thing that Crush didn't evolve. And still, we're seeing this battle continue as they're in that line. There's so many different lines going on through here. Comment I like to make before is like with the rubberized inside line on slick conditions like this, it cuts the track in half, and it becomes sort of like a Monaco situation where it's just too narrow to overtake without a little bit of contact here and there.
Yeah, so it's more likely to have contact in the wet, but I've seen many overtakes be done cleanly in the wet. So it is possible. It all just comes down to who you're racing with, how much confidence and grip you have. We see lots of people jockeying for position. Going around the outside of 1. Doesn't quite work. Yeah, so they've mostly settled down. Single file, not just kidding. We've got a 3-way battle in the back. Turn 1. Going into turn 2.
Yeah,
that's Kirk getting a 2-for-1 pass. Wow! Round the outside, Kirk makes it work.
Yeah.
Hey, that rhymed.
Yeah, it's the power of that outside line there, and still we're seeing the 2-wide action of the dust that Kirk has left behind. The battle's still not over. It's about to kick off. They do fall into line because they're all trying to get the best momentum that they can. Maybe he's trying to get a little bit of that slipstream on this windy day, but the wind is coming from the reverse direction, so that's not going to be as much of a factor down this straight. It'd be on the front straight where you'd get the most from that.
I mean, since the wind is blowing that way, you just get a wind boost. It's not nearly as effective, but it's something.
Yeah, it means that there's no slipstream. That's what that means.
Alex making a pass on Baron into turn 6. And he makes the move. So getting a good exit out of turn 5 is crucial. Because if you're just a sitting duck down this small straight between turns 5 and 6, that's
Baron
no bueno.
2 wide, and he's pushed off into the grass. Oh, he lives. He lives.
They're making it work. Wow, they're all over the place.
Someone's running. Did someone fall off the top of the world?
Yeah, I saw one of the track workers there running to... It looks like they're picking up some debris off the track.
Yeah, a piece of debris, maybe a webcam or something that might have fallen off.
Unfortunate. Might be someone's extra weight. There is a weight limit. You have to be at least 190 pounds. And if you're below that, you can add weight to your cart to reach that weight limit.
Yeah, and there's certain rules as to how to install the weight so that way something like that doesn't happen where it falls out.
Yeah, if you're underweight at the end of the race, you just get disqualified. So you got to make sure your weight stays in the cart.
Yep, I was never disqualified for being underweight. I made sure all my weight was on me.
I made sure all my weight was under me. I'm just sitting on it. Good luck removing that. It's a nice booster seat. I liked it.
Yeah.
So we see in turn 4 a battle between Scott Miller and Sergey. Sergey Kostov.
And I see a little bit of squirrely action.
Sergey gets on the inside. Good. Really good dive from Sergey. Got that momentum. That's what I'm talking about. Getting a good
Scott goes for the undercut.
Scott gets the over and under. He's on the outside. He's going to have better grip, but Sergey has
He's going to
track
go for a
position.
secondary undercut, but Sergey, the master of defending, puts his cart right where it needs to be, so that way he transfers his momentum all the way back to him.
Sergey just went through that door and closed it on Scott. Brilliant pass by Sergey. Unfortunate for Scott. We see yellows out. Charlton spun. Oh, no.
Oh, yep, I see him recovering there. It looks like it might have been on his own. I don't know. But
It's hard to tell. There's too much going on out here. My eyes are in like 3 different parts of the track at once.
I know. Got to open up our third eyes, you know?
Just got to get those third eye installments. Cyberpunk 2077. Let's go.
Yep. Definitely got to go for that. And we're seeing some people really close to each other through this part of the straight. Looks
we
like
see
a bump
Harb
track.
right behind Thomas in turn 1. It looks like he's fishing to make a move, just scoping out Thomas, seeing what he can do. Harb not wearing the Minions helmet today, but instead wearing a very distinct GoPro setup. So that's how I could tell it's Harb.
Oh, yep, I see that. Kind of looks like from a glance, kind of.
Harb has a really good run. Gonna make the inside of turn 3. Can he make it work? He made it work. He just got that inside of 3. Can Thomas respond? It's hard to tell from this angle. Thomas is responding down the inside. Who's going to break later? Thomas has to break later, giving Harb the move. And that is a hard-fought, well-done overtake by Harb on Thomas.
But Thomas isn't ready for it to be over. It looks like he was trying to make it work on the inside there, but the grip just wasn't with him, and he wasn't able to keep up as he falls into line behind Harb.
So, just an update on the leaders. Paulo has run away with it. William has equally run away with it. The only real fight for the lead, we have Sergey, who's a second ahead of Scott, who's a second ahead of Spencer. Well, maybe half a second.
There's Paulo going down the straight there, and then in a second we'll see second place going down the straight there.
Yeah, the lead gaps have just completely diminished. So.
And then we have third place.
Yeah. I bet William must be really happy taking in a boatload of points. That's really going to help his championship, as well as Sergey.
Yes.
Let me quickly check the championship to see who's ahead. Because as of right now, Sergey and William are 5th and 6th respectively. But the point difference between Sergey and William is not enough for William to overtake Sergey. However, Sergey is 100 points behind Spencer, unfortunately. So, Spencer, I don't think Spencer is far back enough for Sergey's position to change the championship. However, anything's still possible. The race is still going.
And there's also that worst race drop rule. I'm not sure if any of them had a worse race than what they're about to have here. It looks like we see an ambitious move from someone in the third place of this little pack here.
Right, because I wasn't counting for a poor race being dropped. So the championship standings are still fair game for all players involved. Spencer got by Scott while I wasn't looking. So Spencer moves up to 5th. I was about to say 3rd, but then I remembered the leaders are so far apart, it's hard to tell who's where now. At least we got some really close racing in the back, too.
Yeah, it looks like Sergey kind of secured his podium at the moment, if that gap is still going to be growing there.
Yeah. Let me check the paces. If Sergey... Yeah, Sergey and Spencer have very similar race pace. Spencer only 2/10 faster than Sergey. It's going to be a really tall order for him to catch up to Sergey.
Yeah, although I will say that I did just feel the first bit of heat I felt all morning as the sun came blasting through the clouds there. So...
You mean this racing hasn't been heated enough for you? Come on now.
Hey, the racing's been heated, but I'm not feeling warm from it.
Oh, that makes one of us. Looking down the front straight, looking at the balcony that I fortunately rock strapped to the balcony here. Don't want that falling off. I was about to say, Luke gonna try to make a move on...
Looks like Thomas is right behind someone right now.
I'm looking for Thomas.
Nudging him through. He's turn
That's Harb.
3 right now.
The battle between Thomas and Harb is not over.
Yeah, it looks like Thomas found the pace that he was looking for, and he's
on the
putting
inside.
his nose on the inside. He dives through. I knew. He crashes right into Randy.
That's not Randy. That's Scott.
Or Scott.
Thomas just torpedoed Scott there. Scott was just an innocent bystander doing his own thing. I don't know what the heck happened with Thomas there. He braked way too late, and he just that is entirely
He wanted to
Thomas's
get past
fault.
Harb, and now there's a little bit contact with Thomas here as well. He tries to make a move on the inside, but people are just swallowing him up as he falls further back after that mistake there of just not pressing on his brakes, thinking that the track was dry magically.
He thought the grip was there. The grip was not there.
Yep.
I have made that mistake a couple times. It is definitely a mistake to make when your adrenaline is high and you really want to take back a spot that was taken from you. but you gotta keep a cool head, and we just saw what happens if you don't. You lose a lot more positions than you hope to gain.
Yeah. Yes.
So now it's Luke who's right on the back of Scott. Scott, whose tires are probably not in prime condition, just gets overtaken down the straight. Luke moves up.
Yeah, the wind is blowing in the direction of where they're going, or against them in the straight. So that's where the slipstream is most helpful there.
Yeah, when you've got a headwind down the straightaway, that slipstream actually does make a difference. You got that force pushing against you.
I see two-wide action with looks like
David spearheading that in turn 1. Baron going down the inside, passing up Charlton. We got a nice turn 1 squabble.
Yeah, he does make that work.
Wow, that was really nice. That was like 2 for 2 there. Brilliant racing by these people in the back.
The reason I made the comment about that heat is the heat is what's necessary to dry off the track.
I mean, the heat from the tires, the heat from our burning passions of motorsport, it's all the same, allegedly.
Yeah, the heat from locking up the brakes and going off the track.
I'm doing my best to keep one hand on the canopy tent we got up here. The wind's really starting to pick up, so we might see some slipstream action down the front straight. But we're entering the closing stages of the races.
Yeah, the wind is trying to take my hat. Gotta make sure that that's secured. Looks like quite a few people are spread out, but still pretty close to each other. We're gonna see these pace differences come through. I'm seeing water splashes at the top of roller coaster.
You don't, as fun as it looks, you do not want to hit deep puddles out on the racetrack. All it does is slow down, cool your tires. Alex is in the barrier at turn 4, deep in the barrier. I don't know what happened there back there, but yeah, he's stuck. We have a car stuck in turn 4. So yellow flags are out, no overtaking.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, keep those yellow flags out.
You can
we don't
see
want
the frame bent as it's resting on the.
Yeah, getting that card out is gonna take some grunt work.
That doesn't look fun at all.
Yep.
Especially if that's technically the racing line as well.
Yeah. So
that's
really dangerous. It's a good thing that they got that yellow flag waved out there for safety. But it looks like they got Alex going again. Really unfortunate for him. Yep. The hazard is cleared, so fortunately no further incidents from that.
Yep, and it looks like, is this Thomas and
Scott are fighting, but just ahead of them is Luke and Davidson. Wow, that's a good scrabble right ahead of them.
Yeah, it looks like that gap really opened up there because they took alternative lines to the bus stop, and I think person leading was a bit faster through there, but we'll see if we can catch up their light bulb here.
White flag is out, by the way. So far the top 2 have crossed. That is Paulo and William.
And here's 3rd and 4th place, I believe.
Yep, that is
Sergey and.
Yep, Sergey and Spencer. And let me refresh the. I forgot to refresh. I've been using my visuals this whole time.
We're seeing some 2-wide action there. Someone overtakes. Seeing all the people crossing here.
All right,
looks like there's. Oh, yep.
I should be back. All right, I'm back.
All right, you're back now. All right, and so as we see the people drifting through turn 4, looks like all the battles are pretty much not quite petered out. We're on the last lap here, so.
It's the last lap of the last race of the season. You really think the battles are going to end here? They're going to send everything they have. This is the last hurrah for whatever points they can get.
Yep, and then the sun comes out, but also so does the wind.
I believe Paulo is coming down the front straight to take the checkered flag.
To win the race.
Paulo wins the race, and on paper, that's a perfect season because he dropped his bad race. So congratulations, Paulo. You won the championship again. But in second, we got William taking home a nice haul of points. That's going to do him well in the championship. We'll see how it all pans out after the dropped race. In third place coming down, we have Sergey. Really good recovery drive from Sergey. So takes his podium spot. In fourth, we got Spencer. In fifth is Harb. Harb in fifth. Really good race from Harb. Followed very closely by... is that Donnie?
Yeah. And
And
Davidson
Randy.
has made his way up into the top 10,
Oh,
it looks
yeah.
like, which is really good on his part.
Worth noting that Alex there is a lapped car and doesn't count for ninth, because that position goes to Scott Miller, followed by Luke. Luke with his top 10 finish upon his return. Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations to Luke, and with the top 10 sorted, the other people will cross the line, and then we'll be seeing you at the podium.
This is, I think, season 2 of the new format, and I know some people have their issues with it, but I think overall it's a lot better of a format. We get a lot more diverse finals, get the racing a little bit more spread out between everybody. Anyways, we're going to start off with the podium for today. Coming in third place, you got down to 95.403 in the main, 26 seconds off the lead. You got Sergey Kavostov.
26 seconds off the lead.
That's a big gap. I know. Coming in second place with the best lap of a 94.788, 13 seconds off the lead, William Yee.
13 seconds. Second and a half slow.
And taking the top spot, 13-second lead, like we already said. He had a best lap of a 93.7, which almost cleared everybody else by a second. Davidson was just under a second slower than him. First place, taking 7 wins out of 8 this season, with the drop making a perfect season. First time it's ever happened here at BGP. First place, Hoftini. John's a photo guy today. My phone's broken. Points. It was a tight battle. I think the top 5, not including Paulo, were all really close. It was, I think, 100 points from like second place all the way down to 6th. So it was all for grabs in that final. Coming in third place with a grand total of 1,140 points, we have Sergey Kavostov.
How many points off the lead?
You have 300. Coming in second place, grand total of 1,205 points. 2 podiums this season. Sergey had 3 podiums this season. I was just trying to find the stat. I couldn't find that earlier. 7 top 10s from Sergey, 8 top 10s from Spencer, 1 pole position from Spencer, giving him second place in the championship. Nice job, Spencer. And taking the top spot. 8 races, 7 wins, 8 top 10s, 5 poles, 3 fastest laps of the season. We've had some dominant performances out here, but nothing has come close to what Paulo did this season. That's pretty crazy out there. First place, 1,430 points. I can confirm that is the win record for the season. You have it over there. Then you come back.